Hello my friends, it's good to see you for yet another video, and this is going to be a tough video to make. I'm going to have to really watch what I say or I'm going to get kicked off of this platform for good. This video does not contain any calls for violence and does not condone violence in any way, but I am going to explain to you as a working class American how the vile, absolutely horrifying nature of America in its current state starts at the top with Donald Trump and has worked its way all the way through our society so that Americans can't even sit down and have a meal with their family members now without being portrayed as some sort of demonic presence that is trying to destroy the world, based on the top, coming down from Donald Trump all the way through our society. So as we know, yesterday, Charlie Kirk was killed. Obviously that's not something you want to see in America at all. But I'm not going to get on here and blow rainbows up your ass and try to tell you that Charlie Kirk was a good person. Because the fact of the matter is, Charlie Kirk was not a good person. Charlie Kirk was a grifter that recognized a long time ago that it is very profitable to lie to the American people. This is a very common thing in right-wing media that is backed by billionaires looking to protect their interest and their interest alone. The billionaires will pay news anchors and content creators millions of dollars per year to protect the billionaire's interest at the cost of Americans every day. Charlie Kirk recognized that and he took advantage of it a long time ago, but Charlie Kirk is a much worse person than that. Charlie Kirk was a race baiter who took every chance he could to call for how do I want to say this, the demonization of anybody who wasn't just like him. Charlie Kirk was the same person that not that long ago said that if he were to get on an airplane and he saw that it had a black pilot, he would question if that pilot was actually qualified to fly that plane. Charlie Kirk is also the same person that said he's okay. He's okay with the deaths of some people every year as long as we get to keep our Second Amendment rights. Ironic twist at the end, my friends. I'm sorry to say, ironic twist at the end. Charlie Kirk was a lot of really, really terrible and awful things. Charlie Kirk was a homophobe. Charlie Kirk was openly a racist. Charlie Kirk was a grifter that spread hate speech throughout the United States in an effort to protect the elites of America. I can't apologize, because if you want a good eulogy on this channel, you have to be a good person, and those are simply not the facts. However, I was shocked by the entire thing yesterday. See, my friends, I did a very, apparently a very stupid thing yesterday, was I tried to take the high road. I saw that this was happening, and I was recording a video as this was going on. I had just found out that Charlie Kirk had been shot. He was not dead yet, while I was setting everything up to record a video. I went ahead and recorded the video. I was a little bit behind. I was going to release it an hour late for you guys because I was waiting for everything to get done on YouTube as far as uploading and the checks and everything go. And by the time it was time to release that video, I had found out that Charlie Kirk had died about 2 minutes before I was going to release the video. I decided that yesterday wasn't the day for it, that I was just going to hold my tongue on what I had to say, and I would get back to the thing today, and I hoped that I would see some calming voices in America, and we could start to maybe take just a fucking day, my friends, to not be animals to each other, not fucking treat each other like shit, and realize that political violence is a very slippery slope that we could be heading down in this country. And my friends, I found out how quickly that was a fuck up on my part. Because the video that I put out this morning was the one I was going to release yesterday, which discussed a little bit of the tensions between the MAGA movement and the rest of the Americans that don't have their heads up Donald Trump's ass. I decided yesterday wasn't the day. Only for hours later to watch Donald Trump sit in the Oval Office and demonize the left and talk about how the violent left has once again killed another person in America. Donald Trump talked about the need to silence the left, the need to go after all of them, is what he said. From the top of this country all the way down, before a suspect had even been taken into custody. After Kash Patel had fucked the thing up so bad, he'd taken 2 people into custody, went on the internet to claim they had the person, then had to go on the internet and say they had to let the person go. Kash Patel has already botched this entire fucking thing at this point. But we sat there and we listened to the president call for action to be taken against the left in America, my friends. That is what we saw. And I realized when I saw that, and I saw everything that came after that, I realized that yesterday wasn't the day for me to play nice. Yesterday wasn't the day for me to keep my thoughts to myself. Yesterday was the day to kick the motherfuckers while they were down. Because that's the way they treated us when they don't even know what the fuck is going on. I said I had to watch what I say when I started this video, huh? I'm gonna breathe for just a second because I am absolutely furious at the President of the United States and his actions yesterday, his calls to action against American people without having any clue why this could have happened. Well, I want to tell you today, look, this video might be outdated by the time I release it. There may be a suspect in custody. We may, over the next few days, find out who this person is and what their motivation is. But as of right now, the recording of this video, we do not know what the motivation of this person was. There's a lot of reasons in this country for people to be fucking angry right now, okay? And like I said at the beginning of this video does not call for any violence. What I'm explaining to you is how we could end up in this situation in America, how we have fallen this fucking far, that this is where we're at now. And I know that political violence has been a thing for a long time in America, and we don't even know if this one in particular is political violence. But we have to sit back and think about everything that's going on in this country. And like I said, how it comes from the top down and has infected this entire fucking country. All right. Donald Trump has openly been calling for violent attacks against the left for a very, very fucking long time. Donald Trump has been mobilizing his forces, forces, quite literally. We'll get to that in just a minute. But mobilizing the right-wing influencers and the right-wing media to be absolutely vicious to the left in this country. Donald Trump has decided, oh boy, I lost my words there. Donald Trump has referred to the American people that do not think exactly like him and fall in lockstep with him on every one of his absolutely psychotic policies as the enemy from within. Where the fuck do you think I got the name from this channel? It's very similar to when Hillary called Donald Trump supporters the basket of deplorables, and then they all started referring to themselves as deplorables. You guys remember that? That is the same thought process that went into coming up with the name for this channel. Donald Trump sat right there in an interview and referred to people on the left, fellow fucking Americans, as the enemy from within, because we have the audacity, my friends, to believe in equality, to believe that regardless of your race, gender, sexuality, religion, things like that, that you are not a lesser person than us. Because we have stood up as much as we can against Donald Trump's fucking fascism. Because we have refused to let him take over the country and do what he wants against the American people, up to and including deporting people with no due process and putting them in concentration camps. Donald Trump has called those people the enemy from within. While I spent all my life growing up listening to people wave their fucking flag and talk about the land of the free, those are the very same fucking people licking the boots of a fascist right now. Do you understand how frustrating that might be? It's extremely frustrating. And when I talked about Donald Trump and his troops, Donald Trump has openly declared war against the city of Chicago. Now, we know that he turned the troops on the city of DC and the city of Los Angeles, claiming that Los Angeles had riots and Washington, DC had out-of-control crime rates, and none of that was fucking true. But then Donald Trump decided to rename the Department of Defense the Department of War, my friends. And shortly after he renamed it the Department of War, he posted an AI image on the internet saying that the city of Chicago is about to find out why it's called the Department of War. Donald Trump has openly declared war on the city of Chicago. Donald Trump has declared war on the American people. The people on the right don't see a problem with that? You don't see an issue with Donald Trump declaring war on an American city at all? Not even a little bit? And on top of that, Donald Trump has been incredibly destructive to the working class Americans in this fucking term that he's in right now. And all the bullshit aside, I'm sick of hearing all the bullshit propaganda talking points about how this is the greatest economy in the history of the world. Through Donald Trump's failed trade policies, his tariffs on all these other countries, jacking up the prices for average everyday working class Americans, Donald Trump has been destructive in a number of ways. Small businesses have went under because of Donald Trump's failed policy. The farmers currently are going bankrupt because of Donald Trump's failed policy. As a truck driver, I am telling you, I am witnessing the loss of jobs in the trucking industry. 17,000 people just last month in the transportation sector had lost their jobs. And this is all due to Donald Trump's failed economic policy. So when you think about all the people that have been damaged by Donald Trump's presidency in just this term, it makes it really hard to narrow down who might be fucking angry out there, right? And then we watch as, I gotta breathe, my friends. I hope I don't get kicked off YouTube on this video, my God. But we watch as Donald Trump does the most heinous things to the American people. Donald Trump collapses the economy. Donald Trump causes us to lose money, lose our businesses, lose our paychecks. Donald Trump rounds up our cousins and our brothers and our sisters and our coworkers, and they drive them off in a van and they throw them in a concentration camp. No due process. No due process. It is as likely that this was a person on the left that was very disturbed by all the hate speech, all the hateful rhetoric from the right that may have done this. It is equally possible that it was somebody on the right who has been absolutely fucked by Donald Trump's policies. And it doesn't matter who it is. The people in America are fucking angry. The people in America are fucking angry for all the right reasons. We have been nothing but screwed ever since Donald Trump came into office. He fucking crashed the economy the first time around. And this time, it's not even about the economy anymore. It's so much worse than that. Donald Trump is mobilizing the military against U.S. citizens. We don't see the problem with that. We don't see how that might make people angry. Really? And look, like I said, I don't support violence. I am not calling for violence. What I'm saying is that when you push people to the edge so far, the way that the Trump administration has, the way that the right-wing influencers have by vilifying everybody that's different than them, the way that the Fox News has. I mean, my God, we can't even drink out of a goddamn straw without Jesse Waters trying to out you to the world as a homosexual because you just wanted a beverage. That's where the fuck we're at in this country. And these Charlie Kirks and these what's his name? The fucking hardcore Nazi one. Nick Fuentes, Joe Rogan's, all these people that lie to the American people. It is not shocking to find out that Americans are pissed. That's not the shocking part of fucking any of this. And I'm so frustrated with yesterday, my friends. I am so goddamn frustrated. You think I wanted to skip putting a video out? I make money here too. I make money on this fucking platform too. You think that I wanted to skip putting out a video? That I wanted to put everything aside for just one day and say we can get back to bickering and arguing with each other tomorrow? We can get back, and not that everybody in the world has to listen to me. That's not what the fuck I'm saying. But I thought maybe this is a moment where we could all just take the fucking high road for a second. For a fucking second, we could take the high road. And it came from the top all the way down, all the way through America. While Donald Trump sat there and viewed his... spewed his vile shit towards the left in America. We watched as Jesse Waters declared war on the left. We watched as many social media influencers declared war on the fucking left. My friends, there ain't a single one of us, I don't know, I can't speak for everyone out there. There's a lot of us that lack empathy or sympathy or whatever for what is going on. Charlie Kirk himself said that empathy is one of those new age words that causes harm to the American people. Look, if we're just going by his wishes, don't be mad at us. That's what he said. That's what he fucking said. And yesterday, I should have brought this up a lot fucking sooner. Charlie Kirk has ran interference for the gun lobby for a lot of years. Charlie Kirk, in the interest of his own profit, has been willing to allow more and more Americans to die to gun violence. Gun violence is a uniquely American problem as far as modern countries go. But Charlie Kirk, in the interest of his profits, my friends, has said he is okay with Americans dying, right? He said that. And I lost my train of thought. I forgot what the fuck I was going to say. I remembered what I was going to say, and I wanted to make sure I included it in the video because this edit is going to be super weird. So there was the part in Charlie Kirk's career where he discussed that he is okay with some people dying every year due to gun violence, as long as we get to keep our Second Amendment, right? Charlie Kirk has been a shill for the gun lobby that has allowed many children to be killed over the years in school shootings. And yesterday, while this situation was unfolding with Charlie Kirk, I wanted to make sure I included this in the video. This is very important, and I forgot what I was saying earlier, and it made me very angry. So Charlie Kirk was trying to pin all gun violence on black and brown people in America. Right at the very moment that that happened, he was being asked about mass shootings, and then he said, well, are we counting gang violence? Which is him saying, you know, those black people, those brown people over there, all those gangsters, are we talking about that? Right as he asked, are we talking about gang violence, Charlie Kirk was shot. It's very, very crazy how that all lined up. But the point is, while he's allowed the gun lobby to continue doing the damage they do to America's children, there was also a school shooting going on in Colorado at the very same time. And there's a couple reasons I wanted to do that. We don't need these kids that get killed every day in schools. We don't need them to be overshadowed by Charlie Kirk, one of the people that has allowed them to get killed over and over in schools, and they should be mentioned in this. And it's unfortunate that they were overshadowed by a shooting of a person that has condoned and encouraged the shooting of children in America. And I wanted to add that part in the video. That's what I forgot. That's the part I forgot to say. Fuck, I forgot what I was going to say right there. But the point is, the right that is lying to the American people, that is moving this country into full-blown fascism right now, they shouldn't be surprised that Americans are upset. That a lot of Americans feel cornered. When you take away their paychecks, you take away their business, you take away their family farm, you take away their health care, you take away their SNAP benefits, so now they're really hungry. When you put an American, or a person, period, in a spot where they have nothing left to lose, it is extremely likely that they are going to act out. And the problem with yesterday, and I'm still pissed off that I forgot what I was saying a couple minutes ago, the problem from yesterday is America didn't learn a lesson at all. Didn't learn a fucking lesson, as the right went out there and called for violence against the left with no idea who pulled that trigger. In fact, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who pulled the trigger. They called for violence yesterday. They called for war against other American people over one person going out there and pulling a trigger, and the motivations as of right now are completely unknown. And I don't know, I'm going on too long. I don't know what all this means. I don't know what's going on. It is shocking to me that this person hasn't been caught already, but I mean, that does happen sometimes. It is shocking to me that the FBI has found a way to botch this twice already in just a 24-hour period. I wouldn't, God, I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to fucking say what I was about to say. Anyways, this is not a left issue. Fascism has rolled into America, and it has cost a lot of Americans their livelihood. And there are a lot of pissed off Americans because of it. And it would be nice to see the right learn a lesson from this and say, maybe we should stop declaring war on Chicago. Maybe we should stop referring to people with different political views as the enemy from within. But we're not going to get that. And my friends, this one bullet may end up being a big fucking deal. This may end up being a big thing. By Monday morning, we could live in a drastically changed America. Because there's open calls on our fucking heads right now for daring to have a different opinion from Donald Trump. Shit. Anyways, I gotta get back to work. Love you guys. Bye now.